Hello, Darksiders. I'm here to review Godzilla, King of Monsters, and I gotta say right off the bat, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty well done, for the most part. Now, I do have to get one great grope out of the way at the beginning, and that is very similar to the Godzilla that came out in 2015, I believe. You don't see much of Godzilla. It focuses more on the human's perspective and point of view, but when Godzilla does appear in the movie, it's all high points. There's barely any low points when it comes to the King of Monsters, as to be expected, and rightfully so. So with that said, let's begin. So Godzilla King of Monsters starts out right where Godzilla 2015 led off, but this time it's from a different point of view, a different family that follows their story on how they're involved with Monarch and how they're involved with Godzilla and such. Now, there are, as it shows in the trailer, much other Titans, and just like in the trailer, the Titans are wakening up, so you can obviously imagine that Monarch has their hands full. But then tragedy strikes, and as we see, all of them get out. So it follows the path of what Monarch does, and Monarch has become much more militarized now compared to how they were in the first Godzilla movie and also in Kong Skull Island. But they go through and they basically are trying to stop the Titans from destroying the world. Basic, world's ending, we gotta do something movie. Now, one thing I do like is just all the Kong Skull Island references. For those of you who don't know, Kong Skull Island and Godzilla are set in the same cinematic universe, so it was really cool to see King Kong being mentioned a lot in the movie. Now, unfortunately, King Kong himself does not make an appearance in the movie, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, it sets up for future movies, I suppose. So you go through and you follow the adventures of Monarch and how they're trying to stop the Titans until the big bad Hydra awakens up, which is, as it says, a rival alpha Godzilla. And I gotta say, the fight scenes between the Hydra and Godzilla are really good. I mean, I was not disappointed at all. Now, when it comes to political messaging or social justice politics and things like that, Godzilla has essentially none in this movie. So, thankfully, you can go into this movie without being told a message. Now, there is one message they have in the movie, but the thing is, it fits in with the narrative. Basically, it talks about an eco-terrorist who's doing what they're doing because humanity is destroying the Earth through overpopulation, pollution, war, climate change, all that stuff. But the thing is, the way it's implemented in the movie, it fits in perfectly with the storyline, which is very cool that they did that, because unlike some movies and comics nowadays, it's not just shoving it in your face saying, oh, hey, you need to stop doing this because we're all gonna die. So that was a nice, refreshing change of pace, and unfortunately, it is very sad that I have to say that now, because you figure with movies nowadays, you have to go in going, oh god, what kind of messaging are we gonna get this time? Well, luckily, there is none. So, as I said, this movie is just straight up war for the planet, Godzilla fighting all the monsters, or being the king of monsters, however you want to view it. But you don't have to worry about political messaging, which, as I said, is very nice. So for the most part, the movie doesn't really have many dull moments, and what dull moments there are, they're not bad at all. They still keep you engaged in the movie. I didn't find myself really bored at all through watching this. So once again, that was very good because it kept me involved in the story. It kept me involved in, okay, what's going to happen next? What's coming next? What's going to happen? What are they going to do? What's going to happen here? So the movie does do a very good job of keeping you involved and dedicated to the storyline. So I can't really get into many else of what happens between the movie, because, as I said, I don't want to spoil this for y'all, but I will say at the end, especially at the end of the credits, there is an end-credit scene. But I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have to stay and watch it. I mean, it's just something cool that they reference, but you can literally just leave the theater. You're not missing much of anything at all. And one thing that I also found really awesome is apparently the original Godzilla from the Japanese black and white show makes a memoranda in the movie, because apparently he died in 2017. So they actually had a little in loving memory of moment in the credit scenes, which I personally thought was really cool, because he was the one that brought Godzilla to life back way back then. What, 2000, or I'm sorry, 1950 or 1960, somewhere around there. Yeah, Secretly Godzilla came out in 2000. But I mean, I thought that was really cool that they did that, because the reality is, as I said, without him, there probably would be no Godzilla. For the most part, if you are a fan of the old Godzilla, you'll see tons of titans and other monsters from the original show, so that will be a nice, cool little reference for you. The one thing I do wish about the other titans is I wish they showed more of them, but as I said, the main thing was about Godzilla and the Hydra. So if you're looking for a good movie this weekend and just want to see giant monsters fight each other, this is definitely the movie for you. As I said, I personally was not disappointed in what they did. I loved all the Kong Skull Island references. I just loved seeing all the old monsters from way back then. I mean, it was an enjoyable movie, and they are definitely setting up for a much bigger event. Now, what that event is, I'm not too sure. I mean, all we have to do is just sit here, wait. But as I said, Godzilla is good, and if you are looking for a movie, this is it. Well, until next time, Darksiders, this is Darkside Leathers, signing off.